Last week, at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta, I watched a grown man cry. I don't mean tear up or get frustrated. I mean he was sobbing, shoulders shaking, begging a TSA officer not to throw away a $300 bottle of vintage cologne he bought for his wife's anniversary. It was sealed. It was in the box. He had the receipt. And you know what the officer did? He pointed at the trash can, made eye contact, and dropped it in with a thud that echoed through the entire security checkpoint. That sound, that is the sound of money evaporating because nobody told that passenger the rules had changed. If you think you know how to pack, because you flew back in 2023 or 2024, you are walking into a trap. The technology has evolved. The threat detection algorithms have updated, and the rules of the sky for 2026 are catching even the most frequent flyers off guard. I'm Benny. I've been a flight attendant for 15 years. I have flown millions of miles. I've worked routes from New York to Singapore, and I have seen thousands of passengers lose their minds at the gate because they packed the wrong thing. I'm the guy who has to hand you the napkins when you board the plane red-faced and angry, but today, I'm not just serving you ginger ale. I'm serving you the insider playbook. I'm going to walk you through the 10 specific items that are getting seized the most right now, including one harmless household item that can actually get you put on a permanent no-fly list if you argue about it. We are going to save you money. We are going to save you dignity. And we are going to make sure you breeze past that checkpoint while everyone else is taking their shoes off. Let's get real about what is actually happening inside those scanners. You see, most people think TSA agents are looking for pictures of guns or knives. They aren't. The new CT scanners, the ones rolling out nationwide right now, are looking for density. They are looking for chemical signatures. And this brings us to the first and most heartbreaking item that I see tossed in the bin every single day. 1. Spreadables, the peanut butter paradox. You would not believe how many people fight me on this. You pack a jar of organic peanut butter, or maybe a really nice local honey, or a jar of Nutella you bought in Italy. It's food, right? It's solid enough to stay on a spoon. It's not water. Here is the 2026 reality: if you can spread it, it is a liquid. The TSA definition of a liquid is anything that takes the shape of its container. Peanut butter? Liquid? Hummus? Liquid? That expensive French soft cheese? Liquid. The scanners categorize these items based on density mass. When the machine sees a dense organic mass that is malleable, it flags it immediately as a potential explosive compound. I once had a passenger, let's call her Sarah, board my flight to London, completely distraught. She had brought 6 jars of her grandmother's homemade cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving. It was a family tradition. Security threw away every single jar, she told me. Benny, it was frozen when I left the house. And that brings me to the loophole. This is the industry secret. The airlines won't tell you because they don't want to deal with the hassle. If you freeze a liquid solid, I mean rock hard, it is allowed through security. If that cranberry sauce had been a block of ice when it hit the belt, she would have kept it. But the second it starts to melt, the second there is a little bit of slush at the bottom, it's contraband. Don't risk it with expensive food items. If you are bringing spreadables, check the bag. I don't care if it is mostly solid. The agent doesn't have time to debate physics with you. They have a line of 300 people behind you, and the easiest way to solve the problem is the trash can. 2. The smart luggage death sentence. This one is getting huge because everyone is buying these high-tech suitcases. You know the ones. They have built-in USB ports, GPS tracking, maybe even a little motor so it follows you around like a puppy. They are cool, I get it. But here is the scenario I see constantly. We are at the gate. The overhead bins are full because everyone brought a carry-on that is way too big. I have to make an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to check bags to your final destination. So, you roll your fancy smart bag down the jet bridge. The ramp agent grabs it, looks at the tag, and asks the million-dollar question. Can you remove the battery? If the answer is no, your bag is not getting on my plane. Period. Lithium-ion batteries are the single biggest fire risk we deal with. If a battery goes into thermal runaway in the cargo hold, the fire suppression system might not be able to stop it before it burns through the fuselage. That is a catastrophic loss of the aircraft. That is why we are so strict. I have seen people have to rip the lining out of their $300 suitcase right there on the tarmac, trying to unscrew a battery compartment with a car key, sweating bullets while the captain is glaring at them from the cockpit window. If the battery doesn't pop out with a simple click, do not fly with that bag. The 2026 regulations are tightening on this. If your bag has a non-removable power source, it can only fly if it stays in the cabin with you. But if the cabin is full, you are stuck. You literally cannot fly. You will be left at the gate. Do not buy smart luggage unless the battery ejects like a magazine from a pistol. 3. The innocent self-defense cat. This one scares me because people genuinely don't realize what they are carrying. You've seen them on TikTok or Instagram, those cute resin keychains shaped like a cat's face or a dog. They look like simple accessories, but the ears are sharpened to a point. They are designed to be used as brass knuckles for self-defense. To you, it's a keychain. To the TSA, it is a concealed weapon. I watched a young college student get pulled into a private screening room in Chicago because of one of these. She had forgotten it was on her keys. The problem isn't just that they take it away. The problem is that in some states, carrying brass knuckles is illegal. Bringing a concealed weapon to an airport checkpoint isn't just a throw it away moment, it can be a call, the police moment. The same goes for couboutons, those heavy metal sticks on keychains, and tactical pens. If your pen is made of aircraft-grade aluminum and has a glass breaker on the tip, it's not a pen anymore. It's a shiv. Leave the self-defense tools in your checked bag, or leave them at home. The airport is one of the safest places you can be. You don't need the tactical cat ears to get to the Cinnabon 4. Large powders, the secondary screening nightmare. This is a huge retention killer for your travel time. You want to breeze through pre-check? Then stop packing giant tubs of protein powder, collagen, or ground coffee in your carry-on. Here is the rule that catches people. Anything powder-based over 12 ounces, that's about the size of a standard soda, can require secondary screening. The X-ray machine cannot easily distinguish between a tub of vanilla whey protein and a tub of powdered explosive material. They have the same organic density, so every single time you pack that big tub, the bag has to be pulled. The officer has to open it. They have to do a swab test for chemical residue. I had a guy on a flight to Denver who missed the boarding door closing by 2 minutes. Why? Because he had 3 bags of specialized organic flour in his carry-on. He spent 45 minutes watching them test every single bag while his plane pushed back. If you must travel with powders, put them in your checked luggage. If you absolutely need them in your carry-on, take them out of your bag and put them in a separate bin, just like a laptop. It tells the operator, "I'm not hiding this," and it speeds up the process. But honestly, just buy the protein powder when you land. It's not worth the stress. 5. The duty-free trap. The connection killer. This is where the airlines really fail you. We want you to buy that expensive scotch or that giant bottle of perfume on the plane or in the duty-free shop. We make a commission on it, but we often forget to ask you one crucial question. Do you have a connecting flight? Let's say you are flying from Paris to New York and then connecting to Cleveland. You buy a glorious expensive bottle of cognac in Paris. It's sealed in the tamper-evident bag. You are safe, right? Wrong? When you land in the US, you have to pick up your checked bags, go through customs, and then re-clear security to get to your connecting flight. That bottle of cognac is more than 3.4 ounces. Even though it is sealed, even though it is in the special bag, the TSA agents at the recheck point in New York might not let it through. The rules on this are incredibly inconsistent and depend heavily on the specific scanning technology at that transfer point. I have seen hundreds of dollars of alcohol surrendered at the transfer desk. If you have a connection in the US after an international flight, you must take that duty-free bag and shove it inside your checked luggage before you drop it back on the belt. Do not try to carry it through the domestic checkpoint. They will take it, and they will probably drink it at their holiday party. Speaking of saving you from disasters, if you are serious about flying like a pro and avoiding these traps that ruin vacations, take a second right now to subscribe. I'm dropping videos every week on the secrets the airlines are terrified. You'll find out. Don't be the passenger crying at the gate. Be the one who knows better. 6. High-proof alcohol, the fire hazard. While we are on the subject of booze, let's talk about the hard stuff. I mean, the really hard stuff most people think. If it's in my checked bag, I can bring whatever alcohol I want. Not true. There is a hard limit on alcohol content. Anything over 140 proof, 70% alcohol by volume, is completely banned from the aircraft. Checked bag, carry-on. It doesn't matter. It is considered a hazardous material. This includes things like 151 rum and high-proof grain alcohol. If your checked bag gets randomly searched, and they search thousands a day, and they find a bottle of 151, they will confiscate it and leave you a nice little note inside your suitcase, telling you it's gone. I've had college kids flying to spring break lose their entire party supply because they tried to pack the strongest stuff they could find. Stick to the standard 80-proof vodka and whiskey. It flies. The rocket fuel stays home. 7 loose lithium batteries. We talked about smart bags. But let's talk about the batteries themselves. You cannot pack loose lithium-ion batteries, like spare camera batteries, power banks, or vape batteries, in your checked luggage. This is a hard, non-negotiable safety rule. If a battery shorts out in the cargo hold, we have a fire. If it shorts out in the cabin, we can see it and hit it with a halon extinguisher. If the scanner detects a large concentration of lithium batteries in your checked bag, they will open it and take them. But here is the pro tip that saves you: tape the contacts. If you are carrying spare batteries in your carry-on, which you should, use electrical tape to cover the gold contact points, or keep them in their original packaging. When a TSA agent sees you have taped the contacts, they know you are a pro. It signals that you understand safety. They relax. When you just throw a handful of batteries into a Ziploc bag with your keys and loose change, that is a short circuit waiting to happen, and that is how you get pulled aside for a lecture. 8 wrapped gifts, the heartbreaker. It's the holidays, or maybe a birthday. You have spent hours wrapping these beautiful gifts for your family. You used the expensive paper, the ribbons, the bows. It looks perfect. Do not. I repeat, do not bring wrapped gifts through security. If the scanner sees something inside that box that looks even slightly ambiguous, a dense toy, a bottle of lotion, a weirdly shaped electronic, they are going to open it, and the TSA does not unwrap gifts gently. They rip. There is nothing sadder than watching someone try to salvage torn wrapping paper on a dirty airport bench. The 2026 strategy: wrap it when you get there, pack the paper and tape flat in your suitcase, or use gift bags. The TSA can easily look inside a gift bag and hand it back to you without destroying the presentation. Don't set yourself up for heartbreak just because you wanted to save 5 minutes at your destination. 9. Toy weapons, Nerf, replicas, and cosplay. This applies heavily to families and anyone going to conventions. You might think that neon orange Nerf gun, or that plastic lightsaber hilt, looks obviously fake, but on an X-ray monitor, it looks like the silhouette of a firearm or an explosive device. Anything that resembles a weapon, even a toy, can cause a massive shutdown at the checkpoint. I recall a flight where we were delayed 30 minutes because a kid had a replica of a cowboy pistol in his backpack. It was plastic. It had the orange tip, but on the screen, it looked like a revolver. The supervisor had to be called. The police were notified. The bag was treated as a threat until proven otherwise. And here is the kicker. Even if they determine it is a toy, they often still won't let it through. The rule is, replica weapons are prohibited in the cabin. If it looks like a gun, it doesn't fly in the cabin. Put it in the checked bag, or better yet, ship it. Do not be the reason the whole terminal goes on lockdown because your kid needed his space blaster. 10. The nightmare of soil and agricultural items. This is the one that gets people fined. Not just confiscated, fined. You went to Hawaii, you grabbed a cool-looking rock or some sand. You went to Florida and bought a little baby palm tree. You are coming back from Mexico with a bag of funny-looking fruit. Agricultural security is no joke. The USDA beagles, those cute dogs sniffing your bags, are not looking for drugs. They are looking for apples. They are looking for invasive species. If you are flying from Hawaii to the mainland, or internationally into the US, and you have fresh fruit, vegetables, or even certain types of soil on your hiking boots, you are in trouble. I had a passenger fined $500 for an apple she took from the plane snack basket in Paris, and forgot in her bag until she got to JFK. $500. For an apple, the 2026 rules on biosecurity are getting stricter because of global pest concerns. If you have food, declare it. If you aren't sure, throw it out. Do not try to sneak a sausage or a weird plant past the beagle. The dog always wins. The psychology of the checkpoint. Now that you know the items, I want to give you the ultimate piece of advice, the Benny philosophy of airport security. You have to understand that the TSA agents are human beings doing a repetitive, high-stress job. They are looking for anomalies. When you pack, your goal is to be boring. You want your bag to look like every other bag. When you pack that weirdly shaped metal sculpture, or that dense block of fudge, or those tangled wires, you are creating an anomaly. You are inviting them into your life. The best travelers, the ones who fly 100,000 miles a year, pack in layers, clothes, electronics, clothes. They keep their liquids easy to grab. They don't argue. And here is the open loop I promised you at the start. The thing that can get you banned. It's not an item, it's a word. Never, ever, joke about safety. We are living in a time of heightened tension. If an agent asks you, "What is in the bag?" and you sarcastically say, "Oh, just a bomb," or "my explosives," because you think you are being funny, the joke is over. You will be detained. You will miss your flight. You could face federal charges. I have seen careers ruined because someone made a sarcastic comment at a checkpoint. In 2026, with the new threat assessment protocols, there is zero tolerance for humor regarding threats. Keep your jokes for the bar when you land. The go bag strategy. So, how do you beat the system? You create a go bag. Be a specific set of toiletries that never leave your suitcase. Buy the TSA-approved clear bottles. Buy the charging cables that stay in the bag. When you pack for a trip, you shouldn't be grabbing your shampoo from the shower. That is how you make mistakes. That is how you end up bringing the 12-ounce bottle instead of the 3-ounce one. Your travel kit should be a pre-packed, pre-vetted ecosystem. And one final tip from a flight attendant who wants you to have a good flight. Be nice to the agents. I know. It's annoying to take your shoes off. It's annoying to have someone shout, "Laptop out," at 6 a.m., but these people are the gatekeepers. A smile and a good morning can be the difference between them letting you slide on that slightly too large toothpaste or tossing it in the bin. We are all just trying to get from point A to point B safely. So, double-check your bags, take out the peanut butter, tape your batteries, leave the brass knuckles at home. And for the love of everything holy, do not wrap your gifts. If you found this helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button so YouTube shows this to more travelers. We can save a lot of cologne bottles if we work together. And check out the video on your screen right now. It's about the gate lysis phenomenon, and why standing up before your zone is actually ruining the boarding process for everyone. I'm Benny. Fly safe, fly smart, and I'll see you in the sky. Wait, I need to tell you one more thing before you go. A bonus tip that didn't make the list but saves lives. Actually, let's keep going. I have a few minutes left and I want to really drill down into something I mentioned earlier, because I see the comments section blowing up about it already: medication. I see so much panic about this. Benny, can I bring my liquid medicine if it's more than 3.4 ounces? The answer is yes, but you have to do it right. This is a medical exemption. It is not a loophole, it is a right, but you cannot just leave it in your bag. If you have a large bottle of cough syrup, or contact lens solution, or liquid nutrition for a medical condition, you must pull it out. Tell the officer before your bag goes in, I have medically necessary liquids. They will test it. They might wave a strip over the top of the bottle to test for vapors. But they will let it through. Do not suffer through a flight without your meds, because you were scared of the 311 rule. Health comes first. And while we are talking about health, let's talk about the dirty tray's secret. You know those gray bins you put your phone, your wallet, and your keys in? The ones millions of people have touched. The ones that have had shoes, dirty diapers, and leaky shampoo bottles inside them. Studies have shown those trays have more bacteria than the airport toilets. And what do? You throw your phone in there, then you get on the plane, and you put that phone against your face. Gross. Pack a few Ziploc bags in your front pocket. When you get to security, put your phone, wallet, and keys inside the Ziploc. Then put the Ziploc in the tray. It keeps your stuff clean, and it keeps your small items from sliding out of the cracks in the conveyor belt. Which happens more than you think. It's these little micro adjustments that change you from a rookie to a veteran. I remember my first year flying. I was a mess. I overpacked. I brought books I never read. I brought just-in-case outfits now. I travel with a backpack for a 4-day trip. The freedom of travel isn't about how much you can bring with you. It is about how little you need to enjoy the world. The more stuff you drag through that airport, the more miserable you are. The TSA isn't just a security checkpoint, it is a filter. It filters out the stuff you don't need. So look at your bag right now. If you are packing for a trip tomorrow, open it up. Do you really need the full-size hairspray? Do you really need the backup battery for the backup battery? Do you need the Couture keychain? Definitely no. Lighten the load. You will walk faster. You will stress less. And when you get on my plane, you won't be sweating trying to shove a 70-pound bag into a space designed for a 40-pound bag. One last horror story to scare you straight. I had a passenger. Let's call him Dave. Dave was a photographer. He checked a bag with $10,000 worth of camera lenses. He padded them with clothes. He thought they were safe. He didn't know about the crush zones. Baggage handling systems are aggressive. Bags get dropped, squeezed, and piled up. But worst of all, sometimes items inside the bag rub against each other. Dave had packed a loose lithium battery next to a metal tripod. We didn't have a fire, thankfully. But the heat generated melted the plastic casing of his favorite lens. He opened his bag at the destination to find a fused lump of plastic and glass. The insurance? They fought him on it because he packed hazardous materials, the loose battery, improperly. Don't be Dave. Respect the physics of flight. Respect the rules of the checkpoint. If you made it this far, you are the kind of passenger I love. You care. You are prepared. Next time you board, look for me. I'll be the one in the galley, probably drinking coffee, waiting to welcome you aboard. And if you breeze through security because you froze your peanut butter, give me a wink. I'll know you watched this video. Safe travels, everyone. Benny out.